I think that's a really good way of understanding why lawyers make such a big deal, right? We're just bound by different types of licensing, and we're just bound. I think that's a really good way. Just bound by. Hey there, Edie Edens, joining you with Darshan Kulkarni, and we are here today on KLF to talk a little bit more as we unpack how the law firm came to be, the origin story, what it's like to work here. A little bit about why is it special, or why do we think we're so special, right? To work with attorneys as opposed to non-legal consultants or contractors, because we definitely interact with folks with all different educational backgrounds, and they all bring a variety of different awesome skill sets to the table. But admittedly, there are some key points that make working with a law firm and licensed attorneys different in how you engage and what you might receive. So what does that make you think of, Darshan?
I think there are a few different things. I think at least three big ones pop up to mind for me. Number one, I think why you should work with us and what it's like to work here. In terms of that, you get to have that background. Look at Edie's background. Like that's the background we get to work with. So that's wonderful for us. Having said that, the three big things, the big reasons you want to work with a law firm is number one, privilege, which means that your confidentiality agreement for the most part is great. It protects you for anywhere from 1 year to 3 years, depending on what you negotiate, and that's great. Edie and I, you give us confidential information related to the actual legal advice we've given you. We have to die with that information.
I was like, no,
Um,
we really have to go to the grave. Like, no,
right,
really. Like, even
right.
if you haven't been my client in 30 years, like, I can't
And
tell anybody about it.
and that's the weird part because clients are like, well, can we sign a CDA? I'm like, you don't want to sign a CDA because an NDA, not a confidentiality agreement, because that's
Right.
not in your best interest.
No.
You're limiting what I'm actually offering you. So that's the first one. I think the second one is we just do a broader scope of stuff. So we're getting into questions on how do the different other agencies come together to affect the type of advice we give you. So I think consultants are great. They do some great stuff, but we're looking at a broader scope of issues. And then we work with consultants because some of
Yeah,
them are great operators. We do the
absolutely.
operations as well, but we are coming at it first from the strategy viewpoint. Edie and I were on a call earlier today where we talked about this agreement they wanted to have in place, and we pointed out, well, to have this agreement in place, what is your strategy? Once you have your strategy, what quality program do you have in place? Once you have that, let's reconcile all those things to make sure that it's in your best interest. And that's the other part. And lastly, and I think this is probably the most important one that I forget about all the time, we're required by law to make sure we're working in your best interest, not
Yep.
our best interest. We have to, and the number of times I've told this to clients where I go, I would love to tell you blah, 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 because I make more money that way.
Yep.
But it's not in your
But
best
that's just
interest.
not the best interest. It's just not the right thing to do. Enjoying our content? We'd love to hear more. Please like, comment, share, and find more. And I know we stress things around privilege, but you have to understand for those of us that have done the educational journey and have gone out and gotten licensed, I mean, this is beat into you and for good reason. You are taking someone's information to the grave, short of a few exceptions. And I'm not suggesting a contractor or a non-legal consultant doesn't have a certification or some type of a Better Business Bureau, oversight that they could get reported to, or they wouldn't have reputational damage, which we all know is critical. But there is a significant difference when you're talking about a license and what people are willing to risk and put into that. And so I think that's a game changer on both of those ends. And then the other piece, you make a great point. I mean, it's something we've talked about a ton as I've moved from consulting outside of a legal environment to the law firm, right? And that is there's operations, which is critical, sometimes almost the most critical piece, right? If you have a little bit of money to spend in your operations first. Having said that, your operations will be a hell of a lot better if you have strategy behind them. I need to go from 500 feet to 5,000 feet to 500,000 feet with you for a second and go, what's the point? What's the game plan? Where is this business in 3 years, 5 years? Are you looking to do something like get acquired, or do you really want to be a site? I need to know these types of things because it then changes, like you were talking about, how you reconcile your advice, right? And where you look and what factors come into it. That's a completely different than operations. I know folks who are phenomenal at operations, better than I'll ever be, and I consider myself pretty darn good at ops. but they cannot go bigger picture. And they'll tell you that from the jump. Like they'll say, that's not where my strength is. I think that's a really good way of understanding why lawyers make such a big deal, right? That we're lawyers. We're just bound by different types of licensing, and we're looking through a different type of analytical skill set, right? Just like you find in other expertise in areas. Darshan, where can everyone reach us?
You can reach us at darshan@kulkarnilawfirm.com, or if you are really looking for someone with much better access and a beautiful backyard, you go to ed@kulkarnilawfirm.com, or you can just go to our website at kulkarnilawfirm.com. Thank you again, everyone.
Call, click, or email